Alright, so this video is kind of aimed more for like the newer miners out there, the newer players. I want to just kind of explain and kind of go over mining skills, why they're important, and why you just want to like get them all, right? And also support skills that go into helping your mining ship, whether it be a procurer or it's an exhumer, whatever. And we'll talk a little bit about the mining ships, different mining ships as well, and kind of like what they're best for near the end of the video. But for the most part, like, I'm going to assume in this video that you've already kind of started working on your Magic 14. If you don't know what that is, I will put a card in the top of this this video to my Magic 14 video there. That's just your overall baseline skill stuff that you should, try to get all those skills to at least 3 to really kind of like start maximizing the maximizing your ship performance and your fit flexibility. So what you're looking at right now, this is an alt that I kind of just queued up a bunch of mining skills and just kind of like I put my Omega on her, throw up a bunch of skills and just kind of let her sit and cook a little while. But obviously, like, the most important for mining skills is obviously your ship skills, right? Your mining frigate, like, and also if you're a newer player, you might want to stay in the venture for a little bit longer, but usually not. You're gonna try to get out of the venture for the most part. So stopping mining frigate at 3 is pretty common. Mining barge being at 5, exhumers being at 5, those are super important. Probably the highest priority if you're in a procurer, retriever, or coveter. Getting that mining barge 5 is huge, right? Because that's gonna scale your roll bonus on that ship. Same with exhumers for like Hulk, Skiff, and Mackinac. And also just getting things like command ship. That's just part of the Magic 14. Highly recommended. The other main category here is going to be your resource processing. This astrogeology right here, this is going to be a mining yield skill. So you're going to get 5% bonus to mining turret yield for every level that you have here. So you want this at 5, and you want to work on this. This is a prerequisite for a lot of stuff as well, so you'll kind of get it over time. But you just want to make sure you're getting it at 5. And then mining, obviously, this is another 5% bonus to mining yield. You want to get that at 5 as well. The mining upgrades, for the longest time, I think I only had like level 4 of this, which is, adequate enough to fit the mining laser upgrades and the lows. But that's really what it's tied to. It's going to lower the CPU requirement for the mining laser upgrades and the lows. That's usually primarily where you see the effect, coming in. Getting that to 4 is important, and also just, eventually getting it to 5 will help as well. For Merc mining, for ice mining, same thing. Your ice harvesting skill is like, kind of like your mining skill. This is going to, reduce your cycle time. If you're ice mining, you want to get that at 5. And then Merc, you can stop at 4. 4 allows you to use the actual Type A2 crystals for that. And that has a bunch of prerequisites as well. Like reprocessing efficiency, reprocessing, and deep core mining. Deep core mining is usually just for the Merc mining. It's going to reduce the chance of a radiation cloud. Or a pollution cloud whenever you're doing that. So the other important bit is like your drones, right? Your main line of defense against rats and stuff is going to be your drones. Depending on what area you're in, you're going to want to like grab your, appropriate faction drone skill and get that at least to 4. I mean, level 5 is 23 days. It's a little bit of an investment. But and also another thing that people like kind of overlook a lot too is when they're drone mining with like, the Porpoise, the Orca, or even the Rorqual. Drone interfacing is actually a drone mining yield skill, right? It's not only damage, but it's also drone mining yield, and also fighter damage. So you don't get that to 5 if you're doing like drone mining. And then obviously if you're doing drone mining with the Orca, Porpoise, Rorqual, and everything like that, ice or you want to make sure you get that operations and that spec for ice harvesting drones, and also for mining drones, which can be a little bit of a train, but those are going to directly tie to yield on the mining. On the mining drones, and then cycle time reduction on the ice harvesting drones. Another important one is actually getting cybernetics to 5. This will allow you to use the harvest set of implants and all of the like MX1005 and the yield-based implants that you can buy. As you can see, she's actually training 5 right now, which is going to unlock pretty much that entire clone set that I've talked about in other videos. And then obviously like Infomorph Psychology will allow you to actually have more slots to store, a mining clone or a ratting clone or a training clone. And give you a little bit more flexibility. If you're not mining, you can, come out of that clone. The other important things is like, Navigation 5, Basic Maneuvering 5. These are Magic 14 skills. You definitely want these. It's going to help you like, travel faster, align faster, and things like that. Get off grid. Basic maneuvering is probably really important because you want to be able to, if a nuke comes in the system, if you're a null, you just want to be able to get off grid as fast as possible. So it's very important to try to get evasive maneuvering. And for the most part, and like for armor, mechanics, hull upgrades, those are magic 14s as well. And then obviously your shield stuff. Shield is your primary defense for mining ships. Before you go to null, you definitely want like Tech 2 shields. So that'd be like your multi-spectrum Tech 2 hardeners, and then like your shield damage amps, whether it be kinetic or whatever damage type you're trying to defend against. So shield management is super important. Shield operation is really important, and then shield upgrades, and then tactical manipulation is going to be at 4. That's going to unlock multi-spec Shield Hardener 2, which is kind of like a go-to module in the mid slot for most mining ships. Like for me, I usually use like Kinetic shield amps, and so what she'll end up training is Kinetic shield compensation, and what this will do is give her 5% kinetic resistance per level for the shield amplifiers, and so getting this to 5, you get a lot more out of those shield amps. And then going down to targeting is important too. Signature analysis, getting that as high as possible, allows you to target rocks, rats, and all that stuff faster. Target management and target and long range targeting. This is going to be getting out and reaching range to help compensate if you're using the mining skills that increase the mining laser range. And then also target management allows you to lock more targets or lock up to the maximum your ship allows. And sometimes for some ships you might have to have target management 5, and then target management or advanced target management 4 to really kind of cap that out. And then pretty much everything else is just you can do, if you're doing drone mining, obviously you want to get your industrial command skill, and also for rigging, right? If you're doing drone mining, you want to get at least drone rigging 4, because the drone mining rigs are their downside is CPU penalty. So by leveling this drone rigging skill, you actually reduce the CPU penalty that those rigs offer. So by having that, getting some of that CPU back, you're able to fit like Tech 2 tank and shield boosters and stuff with the drone rigs, which would otherwise not be possible. That's pretty much the basis. Like all those skills are definitely a main focus for just mining in general, and those are just going to be all good skills to kind of carry you through your Eve career. And just kind of going over the mining ships and just kind of like what you expect to use them for. The Venture, that's gonna be your starter ship. If you're alpha or you're like working towards mining barge, your procurer, you're gonna be in this. This is also good for just regular ore mining. It can do I've used it for a wormhole gas mining, even at an alpha level. And then also, eventually, when you get to like using Sinos for your bigger ships, this Venture is a really good candidate for a cheap Sino ship to move stuff around. So your Procurer is going to be your main, really tough, mining ship that you're going to be using for ore. You can use it for gas and ice harvesting as well. It's going to be your solo ship. If you're out there without a friend or without a boost, if you're just going out to build by yourself, you want to be in a Procurer. They're tougher. They can handle the rats. They can carry drones, and they're also a little bit harder to take down as when it comes to like gankers and stuff like that. Your Coveter, this is going to be your fleet ship. So if you're running a Porpoise or an Orca or something with mining boost, this is the ship you're going to be using, right? It gets better bonuses better range and stuff like that for its strip miners and ice harvesting and gas harvesting, but it's very, very paper tank, right? It is made for fleet mining. The Retriever is just going to be like, it's going to have a bigger ore hold, right, than your Procurer and less tank. So if you're not worried about getting ganked and you just want to stay out on the belt longer by yourself, then the Retriever is, a way to go. It's not really a fleet ship. It's more of a solo ship, but only a solo ship if you don't care about the toughness that the Procurer offers. And then the Hulk, when you get into Exhumers, the Hulk is your big old bad. This is going to be just like the Coveter. It's going to be your fleet ship, right? This complemented with boost is going to be the best use of it. And then your Skiff is tanky. After some recent nerfs, it's a little bit slower to get off field than the other two in this category, but it's still, if you're going to go out to an anomaly in null, or if you're going to go mining, even in high sec, right, if you don't have any boost or any like friends with you, this is going to be your solo type ship. And then the Mackinac is the retriever equivalent, right? It's going to be, you know, also not really a fleet ship. And, you know, if you're going out solo, you don't care about ganking. You know, it has a little bit less tank than the skiff, but it has bigger mining hold and all that stuff. And then you have expeditionary frigates. These are more specialty roles that you'll probably like train into much further down the road. The prospect here is good for ore mining, gas mining, and it also can have covert ops. It can pop, you know, covert sinos and things like that. Rogue mining. It has no drones though, but the thing about this is it's, you know, sig tank bonus, right? So normally if you're in null and you're like mining, let's say, you know, Merc or, you know, other type of ore, you're just gonna like put an afterburner on this thing and you're gonna move really fast in an orbit around the rock, and most rats are gonna have a hard time actually getting you. You can also fit more ECM or ECCM to it as well, just to make its signature radius very difficult for some of those rats to hit. Your endurance is going to be your like ice and your ore spec, right? It can only run like one mining laser. It does get some drones, but I'd say it's probably has a little bit better yield for the ore than the prospect. But if you're going to do like some like, you know, day trip, you know, ice mining, whether it be in high sec or null, and you want something that's just fast, the endurance is good to go. You can run a probe launcher on it. You know, I've messed around in wormholes with it, and you know, it's just kind of like exactly what the name is, you know, expedition frigate, right? And of course, moving down here to like the command side, right? The Noctis is like your trash truck, is what they call it, right? You're able to fit like four salvagers on it, and also like 4 tractor beams. And the purpose of this ship is to, you know, go out to location, whether it be like a rat site or whatever, and then you can just kind of like suck everything to you and just, you know, salvage it all and collect it. So that's what it is. It's a garbage truck. And then, you know, the Porpoise, right? That's gonna be your entry level, you know, command ship, good for drone mining. And then the Orca is a step up from that. It's a tankier. You know, if you're in null or if you're in high sec with this, very difficult to take down if you fit it correctly. And then the Rorqual, that's, you know, the big one, right? That's gonna be your null sec siege, you know, excavator drones, all that stuff. It's been nerfed quite a bit over the past few years. It's still fun to use. It's a bigger investment, right? You're probably looking at like fitted, hull, everything. You're probably looking at like, you know, 8 bill plus for it. So you want to kind of be careful when you're playing around with that. And then down here, you got the Orb Freighter, you know, the bowhead. Like this thing is just, it's essentially just has a big maintenance bay for assembled ships to move around, but has like really no other, it can't jump. It doesn't have a jump drive. It's for just moving stuff around, but I have a hard time like finding a situation where I would actually use this. That's pretty much it. Hopefully I covered as much as possible. You know, hopefully gave you some insight on like the mining skills and, you know, kind of like, you know, the mining ships in general and how to use them. Probably in a later video I'll go over like modules and stuff like that, but most of the time I try to explain modules in ship fit videos and all that. We'll show you this fit here though. This is something this is my normal like Hulk fit, right? But the way I had this, you know, kind of set up where I've got like modulated deep cores in here. I've got, you know, regular mining lasers, Mercoxit crystals, ore strip miners, ice stuff. And what this really is if it's like a skill plan fit really. So I like load this up on tunes, new tunes, and then go up here and like add everything, because, you know, once you get this has everything on it, right? Especially for, you know, alts that are new, and I'm just gonna like let them train and kind of sit in the background. You know, with everything I add from this fit as far as skills go, it covers, you know, ice, covers ore, covers Mercoxis, covers drones, and then once I add it all, I just kind of maximize all the skills that need to be maxed to 5, and then I just kind of let it chill. I'll probably put this in the description of the video, just so if you want to save it, and just an easy way to like queue up your mining skills and just kind of start the training process. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.